I guess we can record.
I guess we could record. I guess we could do the podcast.
Yeah, you know what?
We're planning it for the week.
No, I was just feeling like we could, I don't know, rot in holes and die, but no, we gotta do this thing.
You're rotting holes. I'm gonna do just fine.
I'm gonna win this. I am currently coloring a Wojak meme.
Yo.
Yeah. Probably someone really stupid. Anyway.
Those are pretty cool.
Anyway, what are we talking about today, Vivo?
Talking about media.
Media. TV shows.
Our media.
What is media? What is media?
What is media? I don't know.
Definition of media. Definition of media. The definition of media. No.
Oh shit. I opened a Monster.
Bitch. I poured 2 cans of Coke into a McDonald's cup. Media is the a plural form of medium, which is where is it technically? There's a lot of terms for medium. A means of which something is communicated or expressed. So news media, mass media, communication media, all that sort of stuff. We'll be focusing kind of on like TVs and shows and how we interpret them growing up.
We talk about the funny cartoon, the funny guy,
and the
funny girl,
and the funny theys and the funny thems.
They did exist back in the 90s.
I don't know. There was some.
No, there were a lot of people. There were theys.
But there weren't any thems. There wasn't any thems. There was just only days. It's just a society. So, what kind of movie? So growing up, did you watch a lot of TV, or did you watch shows? You know, what was the situation?
Well, okay, what do you want to go over first? Like movies, TVs, or...
Well, that's what I'm asking. Did you watch any of that growing up?
I was a TV kid growing up.
I didn't. That's fair. I didn't have cable growing up, so that's why I asked. So I didn't actually get to watch a lot of shows until I was like over the age of 10. So yeah, no, that's also why I was like, did you even? Do you even?
One time I was grounded for a whole year, so I just watched TV.
Honestly, Sigma male mindset. Fine, I'm gonna watch the news, and I'm gonna learn how to overthrow the government. Take that, Mom.
I was like watching the military channel.
That's why you grew up the way you are. Never mind. The show's canceled, guys. Podcast canceled. I learned.
Alright.
The military media. What is the military? What is the military channel? You gotta elaborate. What? What? What?
We're going to go over TV shows that influenced me growing up.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
A good chunk of it is this show called The Greatest Tank Battles of All Time.
That sounds right up Vivo alley, and I want to add that another show that I liked were also along the lines of like Wipeout and Destroy, Build, Destroy.
Those are good.
Destroy, Build, Destroy. I want to rewatch all of Destroy, Build, Destroy. That is such a good concept.
What's that guy's name? Destroy.
Build, Destroy. Okay, well I colored it a little bit.
Post. Where is it?
No. But
what is your WK? And this Destroy, Build, Destroy.
It had something so good about it. I didn't actually watch.
It was just awesome.
Yeah, like you can't buy that shit. You can't buy destroy this, and then we're gonna fucking make something, and then you're gonna fucking destroy it again. Like it's just so based in an unbelievable way.
One of like the first like people Google's people also asked, was Destroy, Build, Destroy real?
It wasn't real. Did this?
Fever dream.
It really did. It was kind of a fever dream, to be real. Like I can't place like an episode in my mind. It's only like fragments of the.
Sorry.
No. Pop off.
Another another TV show, like Cartoon Network TV show, that was also a fever dream. Was, dude, what would happen?
I did not. That does not ring a bell for me. LGBT.
It was like, I don't know. It was just like 3 dudes like asking, like, dude, what would happen? And they just go on this wacky experiment.
That sounds.
That was it. That was
I feel like no. Maybe I do know. I knew the YouTube like series Can It Microwave. That was something I liked watching. What would you say your favorite cartoon? Can you microwave it? What would you say your favorite cartoon is?
Okay, are we talking about
like as a child? As a child, what was something that you were like, oh fuck, it's on! You're running to the TV, you're begging your parents to change the channel. You know.
I want to list my top 3 in no particular order.
All right.
SpongeBob.
Mhm.
Codename Kids Next Door.
Mhm.
And Courage the Cowardly Dog. Oh, wait, shit.
These are base takes.
And Tom and Jerry.
Solid. I would have to say, shows that I got to grow up watching. I didn't obviously shows. I grew up watching movies and VHSs. So I have like specific movies that I really like and shows and animes because I was raised with anime actually when I was younger, really young. But I know it was wild. I'll get into that when we talk about like shows that changed us. But I would say like I watched a lot of like cable when I was like a preteen. Well, it was a very secular age because I didn't have cable before 13, but I had cable in this weird area between like 10 and 13, and then high school I didn't have it at all. So I only had a few areas of like when I could watch like shows. But I would have to say, what would always come on? There's a show that would always come on before, it always came on before Antiques Roadshow. Because my grandma, what we would do is I would watch a show, and then my grandma would watch Antiques Roadshow after, and then we'd go to bed. Antiques Roadshow was so it. I will say, Sid the Science Kid kind of went hard.
I love that show.
He really teaching me about science. Wow Wow Wubsy. That was one that I sometimes watched.
Okay, hold on. I gotta tell you something. I think back in the day when I was like watching TV, like, and then when I couldn't find the remote, I would just, for some reason, like every time I would lose the remote, it would always go onto like the kids channel. I would just keep watching that for like hours.
I totally made
you
quieter than me. Oops. Anyway, we're just gonna ignore that Vivo got louder all of a sudden. Shh. Nobody needs to know. Anyway, what? Continue.
Every time I would lose the remote, it would always just be on the kids channel for some reason. It was like this happened every time. Honestly, I was too lazy to go to the boss. I was just like, fuck it, watch Wow Wow Wubsy.
But like, that's one thing is I loved watching kids cartoons just to like make fun of them or just like to enjoy them. I think a big thing too is I was a kid raised with more internet access than TV access. Sesame Street. I fucking watched a lot of Sesame Street. Not even as a baby, like as a like 10-year-old or even like 10-year-old. I was like 11-year-old. I was like, shit, Elmo's World's coming on. Oh fuck. Elmo's World. Shit went hard in its own aspect. Truly. Oh, another really specific thing with the TV that I have and had. I don't have it as much anymore. I've kind of gotten over it. But I used to have a very specific fear of kind of two things. So when you're watching the PBS station, they'll have the little this was brought to you by contributing patrons and viewers like you. Thank you. You know, that message? It's usually after like TV shows too. But they would just have that on like a black or like blue or green screen. And it was so quiet and you could hear the TV static. And when it faded, and anytime a TV is on, but it's off, like it's the TV is on, but it's not on anything. And you can hear the static, it would scare me. because I swear to God, it would like flip to something like scary or like reflect me back, and I would, as soon as anything would be off, like the VHS I would watch would end, I'd slam that fucking pause button on the VHR slide. I'd be like, no, blue screen, rewind, we're done. I'm not watching no fucking extra credits if I gotta sit through this. It was such a very specific fear. I don't know why. Even now, like if I see the TV is on across my room, I'm like, no.
It's definitely anxiety inducing.
Yeah, like you're like, uh-oh. When it takes like too long to switch to it, you're like, fuck, the FBI's gonna screen my entire internet access.
Yeah, I felt the same way when I first watched. What if like I first witnessed a transition from Cartoon Network to Adult Swim?
Oh my god, that would freak me out. I was actually usually up late enough to not see the transition. I would just immediately be on Adult Swim. Robot Chicken. I watched a fuck ton of actually Adult Swim, now that I think about it. That was something I grew up in a household watching. We'd have it on late at night. Robot Chicken was fucked up.
It was traumatizing.
Sometimes it was funny and sometimes it was just fucked up. No, I'm just gonna say.
I was a wee little boy.
It's just a little. I truly was like a little lad, and I was living with my cousin who was even a littler lad. Wild. What else came out on Adult Swim? I actually wasn't. I wasn't in the era where anime was on Adult Swim very much, so I never watched anime on Adult Swim really. I
think most of my adults, King of the Hill mainly.
King of the Hill. That shit went hard. I watched some good King of the Hill. You should bust them.
I remember this one. So, do you remember when like Adult Swim would like premiere like music videos?
I don't think I ever had this. I don't think I ever saw them, but it sounds very familiar.
I don't know. There was this one song with music video, and like I can't like for the life of me remember what it was, but the video. Okay, so the video was like of this pizza guy going to deliver pizza. And he goes towards his apartment door and opens up. It's like, a bunch of girls having a sleepover. And then the girls like, tell him to come inside and stuff.
Right.
And then like once like, they settle down the pizza guy, they just start fucking stabbing. I think they knock him out first. And then they just start beating on him. And then once he tries to run away, one of the girls just fucking stabs him. Feminism. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck am I watching? Yo! And also, one more thing. There was this, while all this was happening, there was like a group of guys just watching outside their door, outside a window.
They're like, oh shit.
I was like,
they're wrecking his ass.
Yeah, and they like, I think the last thing I remember was like, they were throwing up, the guys.
But so
it was like,
it's funny at the same time. Like, what? Who thought about that and went, yeah, this is it. This is it. Let's give this to Adult Swim. Oh, another thing from Adult Swim. Did you watch Aqua Teen Force? The fucking...
I do.
Yeah. I could quote that whole fucking Bible scene. The Bible. This says the Bible. You question the Lord? So
I love their fucking theme song.
Honestly, yeah, it was pretty... Like, some of that shit was obviously not humor style, but like, some of it was funny as fuck. Did you have any specific movies growing up?
Okay.
This is something I can actually give more information on since I'm not. I
so
the VHS recorder.
I guess the biggest movies. These are the movies I like watched on repeat. It was Treasure Planet and Atlantis.
That is also very Vivo. All that lines up with a lot of stuff you like today. Especially Atlantis. Atlantis, like, kicks right in it. My favorite movies... I didn't get to watch The Last Unicorn on repeat. I didn't have the VHS for it. But I love The Last Unicorn. And I love The Prince of Egypt. That shit... Fucking Prince of Egypt goes hard. Biblical or not. The music, so good. But, continue, sorry.
I definitely rank, Prince of Egypt, like one of my top animated movies.
Yeah, Prince of Egypt, and The Last Unicorn are my favorite two movies of all time. It's usually Prince of Egypt on the top because The Last Unicorn I don't always remember it, But that is also a phenomenal movie. I grew up with a lot of VHSs, right? And we had obviously a VHS player, so I played a lot. And I had a lot of VHSs of, usually it was like episodes or OVAs of animes.
Oh.
So I had 2 Slayer OVAs that I grew up watching. I had Rune Explorers. And it sucked because these VHSs, so the Slayers franchise, the ones I grew up with, it was Lena Inverse and it had Naga the Serpent in all of them. So I grew up thinking, oh, the Slayers anime has Naga the Serpent as a main character too. Fun fact, she is not a main character. She actually dies somehow later on. Like, not tragically, she just disappears and then they remade her as a dead character. Which made me hella sad, because I was like, what the fuck? And then Ruin Explorers is the OVA I had for it. That's all there is. There's no other content for it. But, I will say, the person who wrote Ruin Explorers is also the person who wrote Xenoblade series.
Sounds about right.
I mean, not really. Ruin Explorers is like a typical, like, oh, these 2 magic-wielding girls go on a little fantasy adventure and there's magic and swords. I don't know anything about Xenoblade, but if it's like that, maybe.
Yeah, they have,
I don't know anything about Xenoblade.
They have girls. They have girls.
Oh, wow! Really? That's really, that's a lot of common.
Yeah, so the only VHS I really remember watching was, VeggieTales and GoBots.
I don't know what that one is, but VeggieTales is, yeah, I mean, VeggieTales is based, but VeggieTales.
Yep. Christian propaganda is.
Oh, were there movies? So let's talk about, like, not Disney, but like Disney centric kind of in that area movies. It technically Disney movies, but not. I don't know. Let's talk about Disney movies because I want to say. What are your favorite 2 Disney movies, like, when you were a kid? And I'll see if they're even close to mine, because they're not gonna be.
Honestly, I don't know. Disney movies were... I don't even know what Disney movies
then let me just point this out. Do you know Homeward Bound?
Homeward Bound?
Homeward Bound? Did you ever watch Homeward Bound?
Let me see.
It is the thing is that the Disney movies I grew up with were older Disney movies. They were live action.
Are we talking about live action or animated?
Yes, that's what I'm saying is that the Disney movies that I watched were live action Disney movies and like, when did Homeward Bound even get released? I don't think Homeward Bound was it's not as old as the other movie I have. Homeward Bound is...
1993.
93, so 1993. Homeward Bound is a gut-wrenching. It's fine. Everything happens happily at the end, but there is a very specific. Oh god, my alarm went off and it's gonna ruin the audio. Anyway, there's a specific scene in it that just I'll listen to the music of it, not even like the scene of it, and I will cry. It's fine. Yeah, like we gotta watch it. We gotta experience that shit.
I need to watch it.
Shit's really fun. It's also pretty funny and like endearing. The other one is Thomasina, The 3 Lives of Thomasina, which do you want to guess when that came out?
Thomasina?
The 3 Lives of Thomasina. Do you want to guess when that came out?
1990.
1963.
Oh, jeez.
I had a VHS of that shit, and that was bussing, because the opening song is just... But it's in Scotland!
Scotland?
It's in Scotland! And there's a hot, sexy witch that lives in the woods!
There's a 5-star rating on Google.
Yeah, because there's a hot, sexy witch in the woods, and the fucking cat's Scottish! It's a fucking Scottish cat! It's iconic.
She got that, bang. Good.
She got that, the Sound of Music. Did you watch that growing up?
Sound of Music.
Why are you looking up the Sound of Music?
Because I don't know.
You don't know the Sound of Music?
Oh, this movie. See, I
Vivo when he sees a banger?
I never knew, like, the title. How we just watch it,
Oh, okay, that's fair. I had it comes in 2 VHSs, by the way. There's the first VHS that, like, has all the happy stuff, and then the second VHS is when, like, the Nazis show up. Because, you know...
The good ending and the bad ending.
Like, you can be like, oh, la-di-da, and then it's like, they have to leave Austria because the fucking Nazis! And it's like, you're like, oh, fuck, the Nazis, I forgot. We're in Austria. Ah, shit, I forgot. That was also equally busting. There's something about, like, those kind of old Disney movies that I do really like. Or, like, old animated stuff. Like, 2000 stuff. Digimon movie. That one I loved watching. Movie. The Digimon movie. So a lot of people give it shit because it's actually, like, 3, like, kind of half movies put into one actual movie. And while the plot is kind of, sometimes can get, like, huh, what's going on? The fucking voice acting and, like, lines are so funny that you're just like, what the fuck? Anyway, I don't even care. Tenomon's here. Let's go. It's just, it's like a trip. But it's, like, the best trip.
Yeah, like, anything past, like, the 2010s is, like, a blur to me, honestly.
Past the 2010s? Or...
Honestly, anything past 2015 is a blur.
Oh, I'm talking, do you mean past or before?
I mean before.
Okay, there you go. I'm like, baby girl. The past, yes.
Ah, man, everything's blurry.
Oh, I can't see.
But yeah, it's like, I don't know. Everything's like folded together.
That's very fair. I just have very specific memories of like certain things that made me go, ooh. Like, I was thinking about it today. So there wasn't any show of it. I didn't ever like to watch a show. And I wasn't a big fan of, I mean, I watched Peter Pan, but I wasn't really Peter Pan. But the fairies. They had this whole concept about fairies and how they lived, and I had a book on it. And me and my grandma were obsessed with Tinkerbell. And like that whole section of stories. I think it's called Neverwood or something. Secretwood.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it do, unfortunately. Oh, so would you say that there was I mean, you kind of already answered when you said Atlantis and Treasure Island. But do you think there's any other movies or shows or movies that you grew up watching that shaped you?
I have to say Tom and Jerry, honestly.
Yeah, you do sound like it when you yell.
I can't do it. I can't yell right now.
I would totally yell. I love when he just goes fucking... Here, I'm gonna stand across the room and try and mimic it. Let me see if I can even fucking... Like, he just, like, will be like... Ah! Like, for what?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For what? I hit my hand, but... Yeah, no, slapstick goes hard in its own way. Slapstick's
it was just pure, unbridled chaos.
It really was.
It was fun at its purest form.
It wasn't, like, trying to make a point. It was just... There they go. Like, watch them go.
They say promotes violence, but look at me, I'm fine.
No, he's not. So I will say that it is an anime technically, but the anime that unfortunately I watched this, by the way, when I was like a toddler, and I would rewatch it like every other few years. I was obsessed with it. Was Revolutionary Girl Utena. And I want to tell you the 3 things that Revolutionary Girl Utena brought out in me. Being obsessed with women, swords, and psychologically analyzing every single thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Because Revolutionary Girl is a very sapphic anime that has sword fighting against the patriarchy and an immense amount of symbolism used. There's riddles. Like, every episode has, like, a riddle by the Shadow Girls. It has, like, some kind of symbolism used in coloring, etc. And it was like, oh shit, I gotta analyze that. And now I'm like, and that's why I ask such questions like, did this shape you? How does it shape you? Do you think this is the reason your mom don't like you? You know?
Probably.
It also makes me like swords, though. Swords are based. It's one of my fantasy.
Definitely look at this. I'm looking at pictures right now. Yep, this is gay. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's also traumatizing and gay.
Yeah, this go hard on Twitter.
Oh god, it goes so hard on Tumblr.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter, not so much. Tumblr, it was. I mean, most of unfortunately, if we had to bring up Steven Universe, a lot of stuff in Steven Universe is used from Revolution Girl Utna. Like
yeah,
Pearl,
I saw some like comparisons.
Well, there's also there's a huge reference in one of the later episodes where two of the pearls fuse, and it's like a huge reference to Utna. The sword's the same, the hairstyle, the roses, even like the silhouette they use, which is nice and all, but it is like, look, oh look. Hi Todd, my cat's here. Todd, what's your favorite source of media?
What? The Schindler's List?
Ritter? What?
Whoa, Todd, calm down.
Whoa, Todd, what do you mean you love being on 4chan?
Whoa, Todd.
Todd,
why'd you vote for Donald Trump 2020?
Stop going on Kiwi Farms, Todd! Stop it! You can't do that.
I'm trying to think of like any other media that influenced me.
Did you read books very often?
Yeah, I was actually a big reader.
Were you the gifted kid that read a lot and then went, I don't know how to read? That was I had I had a college reading level in 7th grade, and then I stopped fucking reading when I turned into 10th grade.
That is me. It's painfully me.
I think that's an autistic ADHD thing where you're like, hell yeah, I can read. I fucking love reading.
Like,
what? I've never read.
I remember in what was it, 7th or 8th grade? No, wait. Yeah, 7th, 8th grade. There was like a reading chart.
Yeah, that's exactly what we did.
And I read so many books that I had to like go past the chart.
I love that. Based.
Yeah.
I remember I got sent down to the principals because I was reading a book that might have been quote unquote too much. And like it was a Dean's Koontz book. Which I guess is just like a horror. He touches on like murder and stuff, but it's not like. And my like grandma was like, "Well, is it like a really bad book?" And they're like, "Well, no, it's in our library." And then she's like, "Why do I give a fuck? Bitch is reading, isn't she? Mind your business." It's just so wild that they're like librarians are like, "We put these books here," and then a kid grabs them, and you're like, "Oh, why are you grabbing that book? Like, whose book? Who is it for?"
I'm trying to remember this book series I read.
Oh. While you think of that, let me know. I will want to touch on a book series that I really like, which is the Cat Who series. It is a novel series by Lillian Jackson Braun, which is, so it's about a reporter named Jim Quillerin and his Siamese cats. And they solve mysteries. But, like, not in, like, a very cheesy way. Kind of like the cats aren't the cats aren't, like, uber super, like, talkative, chatty, you know, like, they're not, like, cartoony. They're just really smart cats. But, there are how many? The 4th, 18 years later. Unfortunately, yeah, she passed away in 2011, and it didn't ever get published. But there are over 24 books in the series, and I think I've read at least, probably 5. Let's see, The Cat Who Could Read Backwards. I did not read that one. The Cat Who Ate Danish Modern. I read. The Cat Who Turned On and Off. I read. The Cat Who Saw Red. I read. The Cat Who Sniffed Glue. I read. The Cat Who Went Into the Closet. I think I read that one. I think there's another one I read, but none of these look familiar. But the other ones I haven't read, so I really want to read more of them. I want to collect them, but the thing is that they're all. The first one was made in 1966, and the last one was 2007. But I have the I don't have the original The Cat Who Ate Danish Modern one. But I do have a copy of The Cat Who Ate Danish Modern, which is very nice. The cover art for them is always very snazzy. I mean, the original one is. But, like, anyway, did you think of your series?
Honestly, I can't. There's only one that I remember. But it's not a series, but it's a Z for Zechariah. I like that book.
Oh. That sounds interesting. Oh, here's like an example of like the cover art that was for them. It was always, I loved it so much. Very snazzy. Did you read any Goosebumps?
I don't think so.
I didn't.
I read Goosebumps.
I wasn't like a Goosebump kid, but I was like the ones that had the states. So there were like Goosebumps for like states. Like there was like Virtual Vampires of Vermont.
What? Whoa.
You don't know?
No, I don't.
Let me see. Goosebumps states. What are they called? Goosebumps. They weren't Goosebumps, but they were called.
Virtual Vampires of Vermont. Holy shit, that's going hard.
Yeah, I know. Let me see. Virtual Vampires of Vermont. Let me see if I can find any other ones. They also had a specific series, all for a lot of Michigan cities, because the original author is from Michigan. Preceded by Dangerous Dolls of Delaware, followed by Creepy Condors from California.
They have, it's called American Chillers?
Yeah, American Chillers, that's what it is. Poisonous Pythons, Paralyzed Pennsylvania. I mean, the titles for these are just... There's also, and then there's a bunch of Michigan ones. American Chiller. And then his predecessor series, Michigan Chillers, are a bunch of horror novels. Under the author Christopher Wright, under the pen name Jonathan Rand. Let me see.
Right.
What?
Were you, what was it? Fuck. It's like a time-traveling tree. Magic tree house.
Wait, the Magic Tree House?
Yeah, were you Magic Tree House?
Yeah! God, that went hard! I only watched a few of them. Read a few of them, sorry. But, God, they were, that was bussin'. I love the way it was written in chapters.
Yeah.
That was so good.
That was wild, like.
It really was. They're like, fuck it, we going to, dragons, and then we gotta get almost killed. Oh shit, we didn't get killed.
It was like, they were like in fucking natural disasters, wars.
They really were. They were like, oh, it was just
like Midnight of the Ninjas, fucking, where is it? Civil War on Sunday.
It was just so wild.
World at War in 1944.
What? The Magic Treehouse goes to World War II.
I'm not even joking.
I know. That sounds. The super edition fucking. I'm just imagining Magic. I'm sure there's one where it's like a fucking the Holocaust.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
Revolutionary War on Wednesday. See, that one, like, for some reason isn't as hard as the fucking World War. Or there's multiple... Like, what were they, like, the fucking, when we bombed Pearl Harbor, the Pearl Harbor experience, like...
Oh, do you ever read those,
I've never read. Sorry, continue.
It was like,
What's the Texas one for American Chillers? I'm listening, don't worry, I'm just trying to find it.
I'm trying to, like, it's just like, books about, like, just, being in, like, wars or something, I don't know. I
was never a kid who wanted to read about real stuff.
No, it wasn't about real stuff.
But that's what I'm saying, like, wars and stuff. Like, I was, like, a fantasy kid.
Oh, that's fair, yeah.
So I want to tell you that the American Chiller book for Texas is Terrible Tractors of Texas, where tractors came to life.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, fuck
That's a mistake.
That was God's first mistake, and his last.
What other books? What other books?
I read a lot of, just books that weren't for my reading level. I mean, they were higher, so...
What's, like, your all-time... I wouldn't say favorite, but the book that you most vividly remember?
Vividly remember?
The plot, so, yeah.
The Cat Who Ate Danish Modern. There's a very specific, like, just the plot points, the whole series in general. It's just a lot that I remember. There is one that I always forget. It's actually part of the, like, when I mentioned, like, fairies, there were fairy books about the, like, and I'm trying to remember, there is Rainbow Magic fairy books, not the same. I'm talking, like, Disney fairy books. Because there's, like, Ruby the Red Fairy and Isabel the Ice Dance Fairy. No. Ah, here it is. Disney fairies. Disney series. So not this one, but here's an example of what they look like. And I think the one that I read was... It had something to do... There's a very specific line that mentions persimmons. And for some reason, that's what I think about. And I'm like, okay, shit, persimmons. Ah, here it is. Okay, what?
Do you want to know what the first thought when I saw that book?
Masterpiece for Best. That's the one that I read. Anyway, yes, what's up?
The first thing I thought when I saw what you sent me was
Vivian
like,
the Fairy Queen.
when your girlfriend brings that Zaza.
She got that. Everyone's like, oh,
Yeah, the Zaza.
There's a lot of ones that also that. Let me see if there's another one that's very similar to the Zaza. Here you go. When your girlfriend cooked them edibles.
Yo.
This is Taste of Magic.
Alright, so the book that I most vividly remember, the plot of at least, is The Giver.
The Giver.
Yeah. I don't know, it's like... It's not...
Oh.
I just remember it.
Barely.
Yeah, it's like...
Barely. I see it and I go, yep, that looks right. You know what's another book about dystopian stuff I remember? Fahrenheit 451.
Fahrenheit? Yeah, I was like big into like dystopias.
Yeah, I was gonna say Fahrenheit 451 goes hard. I had to read it for English, but it was still a really good book, and that's true to now. I think it was so ironic when people ban it from schools. Just the irony of that is almost painful.
Trying to remember a book
There's
I really liked about dystopias. I remember.
There's this one Egyptian book I read too, and I can't remember it, but it was actually a love story book. Something I very seldomly read. But it was about like 3 Egyptian like reincarnated god prophets, the sun, the moon, and the star, and like this girl who found one in a museum, and it's for what the silly plot is, it actually is really good, and I can't remember it, and she falls in love with like the sun one, and then you know, they're not together in the end, but then it's like the sun is always with her and stuff like that. Very fruity, very... Oh yeah, that was not good. Oh, did you ever read The Hunger Games?
I read... I don't know, I either read like the first one, the second one, or like just the first one.
I think I just read the first one too. It wasn't much. I mean, like, yeah, I got the point, but you know... What's the other one? Oh, was there ever like a book to movie that you like watched? I remember for like school we had to do the Boy in Striped Pajamas. Like
book to movie.
So you read the book and then you watched the movie in class?
Oh, no, not in class, but I guess.
Boy in Striped Pajamas is absolutely fucking heartbreaking, especially when you watch it.
I think there was there a movie about Diary of Anne Frank?
Probably, yeah. We didn't read that one, but yeah, there is. It's called The Diary of Anne Frank. It's The Diary of Anne Frank.
I remember watching a movie, but I'm not sure if there's a book, if we read the book.
Well, it's The Diary of Anne Frank. It's a diary.
Yeah, yes, but I'm not sure if we read the
book.
I
thought you were saying, like, you didn't know if it was a book. I'm like, it's the diary. But okay, it could have
been the dairy.
It could have been the Diary of Anne Frank, back when she was a milk farmer. Like, no, The Diary of a Young Girl is actually, what it's called. Instead of it's known as The Diary of Anne Frank, but she didn't.
Also, I remember the book that I really liked reading growing up. It's called The Gardener.
The Gardener? Ooh.
It's like a sci-fi...
Let me see. Oh. There's a movie for it, too.
Is it?
It says, watch The Gardener online.
Sorry.
A film about Frank Cabot, the garden conservancy. Might be different.
It's different. It's basically...
There's a lot of gardeners.
What's it called? It's about this kid who, like, I'm reading the synopsis right now. I'm gonna summarize it.
Is it like The Secret Garden?
No, it's just called The Gardener.
Okay, like, well, I'm saying the plot of, like, Secret Garden is there's a secret garden that teaches, like... Let me read the synopsis for The Secret Garden.
So, okay, I'm gonna read, like, the synopsis on Amazon. So, Mason has never known his father belongs to. All he has of him is a DVD of a man whose face is never seen reading a children's book. One day, on a whim, he placed a DVD for a group of comatose teens at the nursing home where his mother works. One of them, a beautiful girl, responds. Mason learns she is part of a horrible experiment intended to render teenagers into autotrophs, genetically engineered, self-sustaining life forms who don't need food or water to survive. And before he knows it, Mason is on the run with the girl, and wanted dead or alive by the mysterious mastermind of this gruesome plan, who is simply called the Gardener.
That's pretty spooky. Yeah. The synopsis for Secret Garden's kind of long, because it was written in 1911. Ooh. But it's about a neglected and unloved girl who was born in British India, and then she was cared for by servants who let her be really spoiled and self-centered, and then she has to move back to the English clergy. She's soon sent to England to live with her uncle, who her father's sister Lilius married. He lives in the moors, in a large house. When escorted by the housekeeper, she discovers Lilius is dead, her father's sister, her aunt, and Miss Craven is a hunchback. As for Mary's a bitch about it. She doesn't like her home. She thinks she's just shitty. But soon she befriends her maid, and they have a very private walled garden. There's a lot of stuff that goes on about it. But it's basically the Secret Garden is to, like, understand that the themes are, orphan girl who changes for the better, sense of qualities, the revival of home and family, almost as if someone has been hibernating. It also is interested in benefits of effective discipline instead of just, separating men and women from, like, that stuff. It also deals with gender, class, and imperialism. We love old books that just touch on those. Delicious.
Truly.
like I'll bring it again. The Disney fairy stuff. Like, yeah, it's like, ooh, girl, but like, one of the main fairies is born without wings, so she's one of the only fairies that can swim, and she's like, so she's like really important to her like society because she has that. And then there's like, you get separated into other things. You get like separated into like not houses sort of, but like at some point fairies are born from a baby's laugh, and then I think either they pick or like they magically reside with being a specific, like a tinkering fairy. That's why Tinkerbell is named Tinkerbell. There's fast flying fairies. There's like flower gardening fairies, animal fairies, etc., etc. And I just think it's so cool that how the system of that works. There's a book about it. I think it's called The Secret Life of Fairies Disney. I want to get it again. I need to find The Hidden World of Fairies. God, this book went hard. It's only $5?
Oh yeah, it's about fairies.
Yeah, but it had like pop-up stuff, and it was like, how many pages long? This shit was good. Secret notes, miniature books, medallion, shit like that.
Okay, so I finally remember one of the dystopian books I read I really liked. It's called The Roar. So, you want me to read the synopsis real quick?
Yeah, go off.
So, Mika lives in future London, behind the wall. Solid concrete topped with high voltage razor wire and guarded by a battalion of Genghis boars. It was built to keep out the animals because animals carry the plague. Or so Mika's been told. But ever since Ellie vanished a year ago, Mika suspects his world may be built on secrets and lies. When a mysterious organization starts recruiting mutant kids to compete in violent virtual reality, Mika takes the chance to search for his twin sister and the truth. A hugely attentive and entertaining read, which grabs the reader by really. Oh, this is just but yeah.
Anyway, no, that's interesting.
Yeah, I was really into like dystopian, teenage boy has to save the world type of stuff.
Right. I was very into fantasy and like world building versus a character. I was like, yeah, what's going on in this, like, the fairy thing? Like, how do they make fairies, etc., what they do, what their purpose is, in fantasy-wise, all that snazz.
There's another one I have to look. I don't think it was dystopian, but it was, like, sort of like medieval fantasy.
Did you ever, like, so, like, getting onto, like, headcanons and whatnot, did you ever, like, specifically... When you imagine characters, did you really imagine, like, characters? Or were you just kind of like, oh, that's a character. I know that name. I know what he does, kind of. Or were you like, oh, I can imagine his hair and his eyes and what he's looking like right now?
I think it depends on, like, if I understand, like, the details they give me, to be honest.
That's fair. I feel like sometimes if I read too many details, I actually skip over them and I make up my own. I'll be like, they'll be like, oh, he's got this specific brown hair and this specific this and blah blah, and I'm just like, no, he don't look like that to me. Sorry. That's not how he looks to me.
Let's see.
But yeah, no, I just think that, it's really, like, turning, like, book to movies wise, how you interpret how a character looks without it being said is also really important too.
Sure.
Truly. But I'm trying to fill in the empty space here. I'm doing it all myself.
I'm sorry,
it's okay.
You set me on a path of remembrance.
It really be like that. But you got it?
What do you want to? Yeah. If you want to continue about,
I'm just thinking about the headcanon stuff.
Headcanon. So you want to go? You want to go on to that?
Yeah, we can run into that now that we've covered up our medias and whatnot. Did you, oh, you know what? No, I have to bring up one more thing before I go into that. Did you have a animated childhood crush?
Animated child.
Like this animated TV show with a hot girl. Or a hot man, you know.
Honestly, I don't think so.
No? Valid.
There's nothing else to mind.
Chizapuro was... Anyway, that's it.
But if we're talking about, like, live action...
Oh, I was... See, that's the opposite. I didn't care about any live, like, action characters. I was like, that is a person. But I like Tizapora from Prince of Egypt. I would.
There was one...
I don't care, she's Moses' wife. She can be my wife.
One person that, like, I really had a crush on.
Megan Fox from the Transformers.
No, it was,
like, don't pick that. Every fucking teenage boy picks
it was from this TV show called Pair of Kings.
Oh.
It was, Kelsey Asbill, who played Michaela Bakula.
Kelsey? What's last name? Oh, Asbill. There she is. She pops up right when I look up Kelsey. You know what? Fair. Yeah, you know, I kind of get
neurons in my brain.
I kind of get it. She was in Teen Wolf.
She was?
Not that I watched, but yeah, Teen Wolf, Yellowstone, I guess. She had a Raid-Coring Hill, One Tree Hill. Yeah, you know what? I get it. Anything that she's doing recently? She did. I
don't think so.
Nope. She kind of done.
Yeah, that's fair.
Good for her, though. Sometimes it gotta be like that. When you do something early in your career, it's better just to drop it then and then keep going on. But anyway, so headcanons wise, is there any like now? What obviously I wouldn't be like list off all your headcanons, but like, are there certain shows that you think like that are easier to headcanon? Like, you know what I mean? Like, are you a person who watches a show and like after it? Do you, like, connect dots, or are you just kind of like, that was a show? or?
I think when I was younger, I really, depending on how invested I was, I did do that. I think Gravity Falls, I was really big into like the conspiracy stuff.
Oh, that's totally fair. Gravity Falls kind of was pretty based on that.
Yeah.
I feel like when I was I'm more nowadays into more headcanon stuff because I can analyze stuff better as an adult than I was as a teenager. But I like making silly headcanons when I was a teenager and then being like, oh, well, this is plausible. Like, for example, Revolution Girl Utena, there is this character, Nanami, and she has a quote-unquote brother named Toga. Horrible. All the men in this anime suck, by the way. Like, genuinely. That's the whole, like, point of it, is that the patriarchy sucks. Anyway, Toga's actually, I think they say that he's adopted. So, then Nanami has this crisis, because she had, like, a whole, like, brother obsession with him. And she's like, oh, he's not my actual brother, blah, blah, blah. So then we're like, okay, well, we know that Nanami and Toga aren't related. And then there is Sayo. So also the characters are color coordinated, right? Nanami is yellow, Toga is red. And then there's another character, Saionji. Now, Saionji and Toga were friends, quote-unquote friends growing up. Toga's a shithead and abuser to Saionji, but Saionji's not that great either. He just takes out other people. Anyway, Saionji obviously was raised around these two, but, you know, people are like, oh, they're not related. But here's a good argument. So first of all, looking at specifically, like, their traits, or, like, how they physically look, Toga being red makes sense. Like, oh, yeah, well, he's a warm color, and yellow is technically a warm color, too. But yellow and green are on that middle spectrum of cool and warm colors. They're closer than red is to yellow, and green and yellow right by each other. They also, Saionji and Nanami, both have wavy hair, very wavy hair. Toga has purely straight hair. And Saionji and Nanami are, like, the way they act are very narcissistic, very high comedy characters. Basically just very dramatic characters. And it just makes more sense that they would be separate, like, they were siblings, but then separated, so Saionji still is there, but Toga's the quote-unquote better one. I don't know. But my brain I always had that thought, and I was like, that makes sense. Which, fun fact, in my design on my tail, the green and yellow flowers, that's actually Saionji and Nanami references, because they're one of my favorite Palmel characters. They're really fun characters to, like, intersect and look at. So that's my little fantastical headcanon that I've sat on for years.
Nice.
Analyzing stuff is so fun.
Yeah, I think, for me, I think I have, like... So for me, I don't really headcanon stuff, but, like, I have this, like, thing where I, like, try to reimagine a scene, honestly.
Oh, like, how it could be better, almost?
Not how it could be better, like, how it could be, like, just different. I just, like, try to make up new plot lines and stuff.
Yeah, no, I think I actually get what you're saying, too, because, like, you'll be like, what if this happened? How would they react? I think, is that what you mean? Like, what if instead this character came in, what would happen, you know?
I just, like, make, either, like, do things differently, like divert, like, do butterfly effects, or just, like, introduce new characters, different things, make up characters, stuff like that.
That's fair.
That's how I do that thing.
Continue.
That's just how I, like, I think recently, that's why I can't, like, really, like, focus on, like, certain shows, because I always, like, think of, like, oh, wow, what if I just, like, make up this character, or, like, how will this happen? Like,
yeah,
I always, like, pause the video
and stop.
I was like, oh.
Yeah. I can't really do shows for that reason either. I can only, like, movies I will sit and watch through. Shows, I'm not a person, especially if the show is, like, a show that you need to watch in order of plot. Like, animes, there are some, because I grew up with them and I've learned better. Oh, fuck, there's another anime that I wanted to bring up. Damn it, that's okay. The 12 Kingdoms.
Oh, I think...
Yeah, we talked about this. It's got really good world building. That is also a really good anime. That unfortunately it stopped really awkwardly. So it's unfulfilling in the end. But that's what the fun is that you can make up stuff and then you can make your own characters and how that works and a lot of that shit. But anyway, I really love the artwork for that too. Delicious. But yeah, no, like movies. A weird question. So, are you a person who can focus while the TV's on something else?
Let's say you're doing stuff, like TV in the background. Yeah,
can you do that?
Yeah.
I can't. Not TV.
You can't.
Music, different. TV, if there's something on the TV playing, I will. My brain, I have to mentally watch it because I'll hear parts of it, and then my brain goes, okay, what happens now? I need to know because you gave me this information. I need to find out, but I have to work on this. So it actually makes me really anxious to have that. And that's why, like, when people are like, oh, let's, like, watch a movie, and I'll be like, oh, cool, and, like, your group of friends wants to watch a movie, and, like, I'll talk during movies, but not, like, I'll talk about the movie.
Okay.
And quietly, like, oh, hey, I know that character, etc. Oh, they played this. Like, not, like, or bring up, like, oh, this is really resemblant of this, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not, like, I hate people, and obviously it's different for everyone else, I don't blame them, who won't talk about the movie while talking during the movie.
Oh.
Because then I'm trying to focus on this movie with all my friends, and then they're like, so what'd you do yesterday? I'm like, motherfucker, you asked me to do a task and you're telling me stuff? Please, I can't. Like, it's more information. I'm like, motherfucker, what's the movie?
So, bro. My mom's like, so her thing is like, she'll talk about the movie, but all she's up is like, what's going on?
Oh no! What did they just do?
She's been watching. So what? She was like, who's that guy? And why are they doing that? That's all he talks about.
That's the worst. Well, I think that's also my stepmom. My stepmom does that too, and my dad will be like, watch. And she looks. Yeah. It's like literally because my dad shares the same like blunt. And my father's autistic too. Yippee! I got it from him, and he's very blunt. And like Sarah will be like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Well, if you watch, you'd find out." And she's like, "Shut the fuck up!" And he goes, "No, you're not the one paying attention." Or he'll be like, "Do you know who that is? Do you know who that is?" Like that's me and my dad.
That's exactly.
It's me and my dad at Marvel movies. We'll go to like the movie theater and like watch a Marvel movie, and he'll lean and he'll be like, "Do you know who that is?" And I'm like, "Yes, that's the Green Lantern. That's like Captain America's shield." Yeah. And then we'll continue watching. I'm like, "Why am I getting quizzed?" Like he'll quiz me and be like, "Do you know what that is?" "Yes, Dad. That's the Tesseract." "What's in the Tesseract?" "The fucking Infinity Stone." Cool. Like I feel like I can't go without being quizzed.
Hell yeah.
That's true. I don't know if all dads. I think all dads kind of have that though, where like they'll introduce you to a thing, especially like if your dad has like autism or like a learning disability. Not a learning disability. I shouldn't say that, but like a function of that kind, where if they show you their favorite obsession, they have to quiz you and like show you stuff. Because I do that too, and I think that's where I got it from.
I think I don't know. My dad's sort of like that, but he just like, I think he just really wants just to show me. I think just to talk to someone about it. That's about it. Yeah,
exactly, and that's fair. That's the same thing with my dad because my stepmom usually doesn't take interest in a lot of the stuff he has. Some things they'll take. They were watching the fucking One Piece. They started watching the One Piece. They watched most of Demon Slayer.
Shit.
But they have to watch English dub because Sarah doesn't like subtitles. She's a little bitch baby. Sorry, baby. Sarah. I love you, but you a baby. You can't read and listen? That sucks for you. It's not that hard. I'm just kidding, but anyway.
Yeah. I think my dad he's just happy that someone's there, I guess.
That's fair.
He hasn't really quizzed me, but he just wants to talk about it.
Yeah, like, look what I did. Whoa.
Yeah.
That's exactly how my dad is too, but like he'll try to get me into it, and it's really funny because he'll be like, there's one time where he had an obsession with Nerf guns.
Ooh.
And he wanted to learn how to mod them. And we would sit at the computer for like an hour or two looking up how to mod Nerf guns to make them shoot stronger. We never did, but it was the thought.
My dad has an obsession with real guns.
See, yeah, my dad has an obsession with real guns too, but he knows that I don't shoot real guns.
Yeah,
so he was like, "Oh yeah, I won't bring that up."
Yeah, he wants to. Yeah, we're trying to plan to go to a range, like, you know, our schedules.
Just go hunt deer. Oh yeah, y'all ain't got deer hunting season. Actually, don't you? Do you guys have a deer hunting season?
Well, I mean, I live in the suburbs, so probably not.
But like, can't you go to the? Oh, I get. Well, okay. Let me look at the white-tailed deer.
We just go to the
population,
range.
Texas.
We live suburban.
5.6 million. Okay. Now let me look at Upper Michigan, which is a significantly smaller area too. 2 million up here. Which is, obviously sounds like not that much, but considering that it's almost a third of what we have, and Texas is the second biggest state, and we're not, that's a lot of fucking deer up here. We have a lot of forest. There's deer, have you ever run into a deer? Like, straight up? I've run into deer walking to home. Like, been like 5 feet from one. And I'm like, dude, cross the road, come on. Someone's gotta go home.
The only wildlife I encounter is just squirrels, honestly.
Then again, you live in suburban, I kind of live rural.
Yeah.
That's how society be. But yeah, no, I think it's funny. Oh, sorry.
I live in the concrete jungle, so to speak.
Truly. That's what I'm kind of scared for if I ever move. Like, I'm not used to that kind of area.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna have to live in an area with like a highway or a freeway near me.
I live near, you gotta watch out for the cars on the road.
I mean, I've like watched out for cars. Like, I used to cross a highway when I lived in Harvey a lot. Really scary, pretty scary highway. Like, you had 5 seconds to cross. It was not cool.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise, bro.
Well, because one half was the highway and the other half was this like shitty concrete road that was, again, like, suburban, but not. One half went to a fucking bayou area. I think a weird, like, it was a bayou, but not a bayou. I don't know how to explain it.
I thought I had a bayou, but it was just sewers.
It was just a sewer. Vivo, when he plays in the sewer pipe drain. Yippee, a pool! Splishy splash!
Yeah, but I was like, wow, this bayou has some weird tasting water.
He's like, wow, the pool here is really nice, and the sewer rat's like, yeah, do you guys serve mimosas? What'd you call me?
Wow, why is my skin turning red?
Why am I turning? Why do I have a craving for cheese? Why am I becoming a rat?
Wow, I have a tail. A rat man, wicked.
Rat man. Oh, finally, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but cooler.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Rats. Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Needle Teetles. Well, anything else you want to cover on media?
Headcanon-wise, not really, but you want to talk about shows, I guess? I don't know.
I think we kind of covered a lot of shows. Like I said, I can't get into shows.
I mean, let's just go over top shows, I guess.
Yeah, sure. We can do that really quick.
So, obviously,
hi Todd.
What would you say your top 5 animated shows?
Oh, animated. Okay. Can you include anime in the list, or is that off?
Yeah, we could include anime.
Because I feel like, because I kind of only grew up watching a lot of anime versus actual animated shows. Number 1 is Revolutionary Girl Utena. It just kind of stays there. Number 2, actually I won't put the other ones in order. I'll put 2 and 3 is the same. I will say I really liked the Owl House for a while, and I still do. I just don't, again, with the whole show thing. The thing with shows is I tend to read spoilers, and then I don't want to watch the show.
Ooh.
Because I'm just like, I want to know what's happening before. I want to know what's going to go on before. That's all. I also read like synopsises of things, and that's why I ruin movies for me. Like Dead Meat, the channel Dead Meat on YouTube. I think your fan's kind of loud, by the way, bestie. Melt. It's a little better, kinda.
I just turned off.
Swag. Sorry, you had to suffer for like maybe 20 more minutes.
Don't worry, I'll melt
in
peace.
Okay. Ask me when I give a fuck. Anyway, it's turning into no, like I just want to know what's gonna go on immediately, and analyze from there. There's actually a lot of shows that, and this is between you and me and the audience, I know the ending, and I know what goes on, I know the characters. I've watched 2 episodes of the show.
Hey, nice.
The Owl House? Yeah, I know what's going on. I know the characters. I've watched like 5 episodes.
Nice.
But I just read the synopsis or I watch spoilers and people tell me. Because I can't sit through it, really. Like, some things I will if it's like a very intense scene or a you know, like a finale kind of thing going on. But that's just a thing that I struggle with. Especially games too. Like video games that have plots. I just can't do it. But, other show, yeah, I'd probably say the Owl House. They were that was pretty good. I like the character building, the world building that's going on there. Their finale is actually pretty soon. Shit's almost over because homophobia. But another top show, another top 3rd show. I can't. I'm trying to think of one, but honestly, I don't really know if I can. Just, I don't, think about them that often, because I don't watch that media.
True. How about just regular shows? Because I think, I have,
Regular show.
Regular show.
Regular show. Regular show.
Mordecai, Rigby.
Honestly, fucking pops. Anyway, no, regular show was actually pretty good. I actually kind of like regular show. I don't like... Sorry, continue.
I'm addicted to those regular show clips on TikTok. They have that shitty mobile game.
Oh my god.
On the bottom.
I don't know what fucking genre you're talking about when you say this every time. You said it with Family Guy. You said it with, I think, American Dad. I don't know what genre of TikToks you're fucking watching, but I'm worried. What do you mean shitty mobile game?
But it has the funny ball and the funny twerking.
You know what? Go find one and send it to me.
Honestly, I probably just I can tell TikTok would be my first one.
But anyway, I don't really watch a lot of not live adaptions, but real people shows, because I actually don't like them. I like them less. Because I just can't connect to real people because I'm fucking autistic. And I don't...
Oh, I found one. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Oh, you know what show I don't like? The Office.
The Office?
The Office has funny moments, I will give it that. And in later episodes, The Office can be funny. But I cannot stand second-hand embarrassment. It's not funny to me. Like something cringe happening... You know what I mean? Someone says something cringe and then the whole office just cringes and look. I don't like that. It's not funny to me.
Yeah, secondhand embarrassment's deadly.
Yeah, it's just not fun. But I don't like things with laugh tracks either. I could tell you straight to your face, if you took the Big Bang Theory and got rid of all the laugh tracks and all the sad tracks, I would watch it way more. I don't mind the Big Bang Theory at all. I mean, it's got humor, but I don't mind it. But the laugh tracks make it sound so much more forced and not funny. Also, what is this? Let me see this. I can't play it because then my fucking media will play and then the fucking audience will have to hear.
We'll do it later, but it's just
it looks awful.
It's the Cleveland Show.
The Cleveland Show. I watch the Cleveland Show. The Cleveland Show is kind of funnier than Family Guy.
Yeah.
Way funnier.
It's it had more. I say it had a better. It wasn't as gag.
Yeah, it had a better setting and it had better characters. To be honest.
Yeah, I think I just like the characters mostly.
Truly.
They weren't as cynical as Family Guy.
They weren't as cynical, and they also weren't as gag wise.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of gags for these characters. Like, you weren't like, haha, Meg bad, Chris weird, Stewie smart evil, Brian loser sex, Lois Peter stupid. Lois was always changing. Lois was the only character that, like, I could actually be like, okay, this character, she has weirdly a character. Because sometimes she's serious, sometimes she's a bitch, sometimes she's funny. It's just, she's the only character that I'm like, oh shit, Lois. But even then.
Do you have any more shows?
No, I can't really listen to it. You go off, King.
So animated wise, I think. Oh wait, no. Definitely first top anime shows. Definitely Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Oh,
I fuck with that heavy.
My dead name is a character from Clone Wars. My dad never told me.
Anakin Skywalker.
Don't dead name me. Anakin Skywalker. I tell you, one time I had my hair cut and I took a picture of my dad, and he goes, "Do you like sand?" Because it looked just like Anakin Skywalker's, like, ugly little mullet. And he was like, "So, you like sand?" I'm like, die.
And
that's
another one.
That's really good. Based.
What was the other one? I'm trying to remember.
It was bitch.
Oh yeah, Young Justice. I used to fuck with Young Justice back in the day.
Is that the Justice League, but like kids?
Yeah, so it's like Justice League. Yeah, for kids. I was trying to think of something else, but yeah.
No, I was right. All right, interesting. Nah, I'm not a superhero kid person. I don't really do superhero stuff.
Yeah, I used to watch what was it, Justice League United, or just the Justice League anime series, like when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was definitely top cartoons for me.
Mm-hmm.
One of the top cartoons. I don't know. It was just like very comfy, you know.
That's fair.
And Adventure Time. Adventure Time was sick.
Adventure Time goes hard. You're right. What the fuck? Adventure Time was it. I didn't get to watch the later stuff, but...
Oh, yeah.
Adventure Time. Bussin'. Who's your favorite character from Adventure Time?
It's either Jake or the Ice King. No.
Of course,
I think...
the Ice King.
No.
So...
I take that back. The best... My favorite all-time character is the Lich. Honestly, the Lich is so fucking cool.
The worm Lich.
The Lich.
The Lich is a worm. I would say my favorite character's gotta be, Jake's also really up there. I will not deny him. I gotta probably say BMO's up there. It's either BMO or... I'm trying to think of, like, more characters other than the main characters, because they weren't super... wasn't super smart on them. I don't know, BMO. I just like BMO. I like the way BMO talks. Me too. Just a little guy. BMO. I mean, people pick him because he's cute, but like, he is cute, but he's also just vibing.
Can I tell you why by Lich? Oh, sorry. You could say something?
No, I'm thinking about BMO. Go off about your Lich obsession.
The reason why I find the Lich fascinating because I think he is the polar opposite of he was the first ever polar opposite of he was the branch, the first branch to what Adventure Time. How do I explain?
Started
this?
Getting darker, more of a serious turn. Yeah, I get you.
He was not dark, but he was the first plot driven device, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how I say it?
Yeah, I get you. There's more of a goal versus just random little plots and stuff.
I started moving the plot forward. I started going like into the darker parts of the series, I guess. I think the darker parts of like Adventure was like the most interesting part. Definitely.
For sure. I get you.
Then I just like he's voiced by Ron Perlman. He's fucking godly, honestly.
We love. Are you a person who can recognize people's voices?
No.
I very seldomly can, but I've gotten better at it now.
I think Ron Perlman was probably the first because of the Lich, honestly.
There's one character, there's one voice actor that I always remember because she was, I don't remember her name right now, but, first of all, was it Lena Cortez? Lena Cortez, no, it's not. Was it Lisa Cortez? Possibly not. Okay, well, first of all, let me go find there's two voice actors that I remember. I know I had to look them up, so it's kind of funny. Lisa Ortiz. Lisa Ortiz played a lot of characters in growing up. First of all, she played a prisoner in JoJo. Ooh. But she played Burnin in My Hero Academia. She plays Tony Chopper in the 4Kids One Piece. She plays a lot of Pokemon. She played Deedlit in The Record of Lotus War, which is an older anime. She plays Shiori in Revolution Girl Utena, which is one of my favorite side characters that is also just absolutely fucked up. She plays Lena Inverse from Slayer as the main character. She plays Amy Rose in Sonic X. Yu-Gi-Oh! She plays Serenity Wheeler. I don't know who that is. Yu-Gi-Oh! She plays quite a few characters. Wings Club, she plays a few characters. Musa, Icy, Digit, Mitzi. Movies, she played the adolescents, Abutna, Shiori again. She played herself in Adventures of Voice Acting. Fire Emblem Heroes, she played Aramia. Grand Theft Auto, Vice City, she was a pedestrian and a commercial announcer. And then she was Amy once again for the Sonic the Hedgehog 2005-2010. And then Poke Park, she was Oshawott. So that was one. And then the other one is, again, it's hard because I don't remember names very well. So I'm like, I know these characters, I know these people when I hear them. But it was, who played Digimon movie 2001? It was whoever played, the little girl cat. I forget her name, and I'm gonna lose my marbles. Not Sora, not me. What?
This is really unprofessional.
Laura Jr. Sorry, what's up?
I gotta use the men's.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'll talk to the audience about Lara Jill Miller.
Yeah, what's it called? Make up my voice, all right?
Okay.
Do what
yeah.
Say what I think say what you think I'll say.
Yeah, for sure. Right, I can do that very easily.
And don't make me look bad.
No, of course not. You're my homie.
Be back.
Alright, for sure. So anyway, Vivo, shut up, I like guns. Vivo, that's not very, I'm trying to talk about stuff. Shut up, you're stupid, you're ugly, I hate you, die. Well, that's not very nice, Vivo. Ow! Oh, shit! Killed him. Anyway. So Lara Jill Miller, she plays Kari. That was her name. Sorry, I totally forgot. Kari in the Digimon Adventures stuff. And that's where I originally knew her from. But then I found out that, so she plays Matsuri in Naruto. I don't quite remember that character. In Lucky Star, she plays Misao. Beastar, she plays Haru. That's where I found out that she came from, because I heard Haru talk, and I was like, hey, I know that bitch. She also plays Libby in The Ghost and Molly McGee. Also another thing where, like, I listened to, like, part of it, and I was like, hey, I know you. Who are you? Okay, KO, Let's Be Heroes. Fink, I suppose. A lot of characters in The Loud House. Lammy and Doc McStuffins. She plays Widget in Wow Wow Wubsy, as we mentioned before. An icon. Clifford's Puppy Days, she plays Baby Clifford, I suppose. Didn't know that. Curious George, she plays Allie. Winx Club, another character who plays in Winx Club. Chada, Toon, Livy. She was in Hi Hi Puffy, Amy Yumi. I wonder what happened to that show. Never really knew it, but she plays Julie. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, she was just a random kid. In Total Spies, she played Ariel in an episode. Oh. So yeah, in the film, she plays, Kari, Wubsy. Curious George plays Allie. She was additional voices in Puss in Boots. Pretty good. Oh, video games, she plays the Kingdom Hearts character, what was that, Chirithy? Let me see who that is. I'm intrigued. Ah, little guy. Little creature. Very cute. Legend of Runeterra, she plays the Crackshot Corsair. She plays Corrine in the World of Warcraft. Baldur's Gate, she plays Girl, my favorite character. Psychonauts, she plays Milka. Warcraft 3, both of them, she plays Jaina Proudmoore. Diablo 2, she is the assassin. And, yeah. That's really much it. Oh, in 2006, her mother was diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia, which forced her to close her talenting agency. Miller herself suffered with the disease. What an icon. What a legend. She's 55 now. She's from Allentown, Pennsylvania. That's like close to where my girlfriend lives. That's so cool and poggers. Yeah, anyway, kids. But no, I think media is a really cool thing to talk about, to be honest. I feel like what we take away from media is a huge thing in our growing lives, in just how we interpret stuff, how we view relationships, how we view just a lot of stuff, really. Like I said, I was raised with the internet more, so unfortunately watching like TV and movies stuff is kind of harder for me. I usually don't want to do it by myself. I always want to have someone there with me to like watch a movie or watch a show or get into something. Because the internet, I can just look it up and there we go, right then and there. But you know. Well, I was mentioning earlier Dead Meat. So Dead Meat I really love watching Dead Meat because I can't handle horror movies. Not because I don't like the concepts, but it's mostly because of jump scares. I hate jump scares. I've talked about it with Vivo. I absolutely hate jump scares. I don't do suspense. I don't like the anxiety-inducing part of it. I love the gore. I love the psychological stuff of it. I really love all that stuff. I just can't stand to sit and watch it usually even with someone, I feel like I could. But by myself, not really. Which is weird because I'll watch like other horror stuff, like analog horror, people who review analog horror, Nexpo. Nexpo's another good channel that I love to watch. I actually got to finish watching his haunted PS1 video that came out. But like Dead Meat is really good for me because I'm like, cool. Yeah, like I should watch this to not spoiler myself, but he's gonna give me a synopsis. He's gonna tell me like what's gonna go on, and maybe if I still want to watch it, I can go watch it or watch a part of it that I really wanted to watch. So that's really nice about it. Another one, I'm just listening on the YouTube channels at this point. Cinema Wins. Cinema Wins is really good because not ironically, just plainly, I hate CinemaSins. Hate it. Not only was half the time the shit that CinemaSins said, God, really shows that I had speech therapy. Usually it's like he doesn't get the joke. It's almost funny. Like it'll be like this character who doesn't like bugs, and he goes, "Oh, I don't want to go in there because there's a bunch of bugs." And CinemaSins will be like, "That doesn't make sense. It's his only plan for escape for survival, and he's not gonna go through that. That doesn't make sense. Negative point. Like the point is that he's so afraid of bugs that he'd rather die. It's an ironic point, you know what I mean?" Or that kind of shit. Like I just never liked it. His tone was always off. Like it was always for like random shit too.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. When did you come back to life?
Wait, what?
Anyway, so, I was just talking about how, like, Dead Meat, the channel, is really good for me, because I can't stand, horror movies, like, jump scare movies.
I like that, too.
Them. Yeah, I was gonna say, I like to sit and watch and learn about it, because I love the
I like Dead Meat and, How to Survive, Blink.
Sometimes I'll watch those, too. I've only watched a few. But Dead Meat, I like to watch Nexpo too. He's done a lot of covers on like analog horrors and like just general spooky stuff, but he never jump scares you. Very nice. Love to watch it. And then I just mentioned it, Cinema Wins. Not Cinema Sins. Hate them.
Cinema Wins?
Cinema Wins. Love his voice, he's just very good. I actually just watched his video about Nope, which is technically a horror movie. Very cool. It's about spectacle. It's about how we just always live in the moment and how we'd rather make a spectacle or like...
What happened?
I'm talking about the movie Nope. How like
I bet you cut off, sorry.
Anyway, I'm talking about how the movie Nope is... The whole theme is like spectacle and like how like recording, you not being in the moment, having to like make a presence of it. Because like the whole thing is like there's a big ass monster and if you make eye contact with it, it hunts you and kills you. And there's a lot of stuff into it. I would really watch the Cinema Wins for Nope if you want to. That's a really good movie. Very, very good synopsis.
You can, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that.
Anything else you'd like to mention?
Yeah, just one more thing. While I was, away, I remembered I was really into machinimas back in my childhood.
What?
Machinimas? Hold on. Do you know what machinima is?
No. Not at all. I used to be in Bionicles. I will say that. The Bionicle movie was something I loved. I watched it in a high school class one day because we weren't doing anything for 2 days straight. The teacher's like, "What you guys do?" And we're like, "Watch the Bionicle movie." And we're like, "Huh?"
So basically, machinima was this. Well, machinima was like a company, like a sort of a. I don't know how to describe it, like a gaming video company that was big on YouTube. They had like a bunch of creators making like videos for them, sort of like what's like a real world counterpart. It's almost like an agency for like YouTubers and stuff.
Gotcha.
But like machinimas were like, it was essentially like movies. Like they were just like making shows and like video games and stuff. Like Red versus Blue. Have you heard of Red versus Blue?
Oh yeah. That sounds familiar.
Yeah. So I was really big into like Red versus Blue. What was another one? There's a lot of Minecraft ones I was into.
Sorry, I just saw a tweet and now I'm resisting the urge to ask you something.
You can ask me. I'm looking through just machinimas that I like.
Okay, when you sit on the toilet, does your dick sit inside the bowl?
Yeah, why?
Okay, that's just a tweet that I saw and I went, oh, I never thought of that. Thank you. Good lord. Good work today, guys!
Nice.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up, management. Oh shit, we're management.
Okay, I was really big into like, GTA, fucking machinimas, walking. It's like GTA, Halo, and Fallout were like the big ones I was into. Fucking DC Chronicles.
DC Chronicles.
Yeah, that was basically about it.
Gotcha.
I think machinimas were like my transition from like cartoons into like the internet sort of thing.
Yeah, like more like internet-based stuff. God, I understand that.
Yeah.
I was always kind of more on the side of the internet. I mean, I still would sit and go like play, or like on the games. I was more of my games. I would watch my I remember very specifically growing up in my trailer house. I had my VHSs, my like 3, 4, maybe 5 VHSs that I would occasionally replay, and usually I would just like dance to the opening title music because there were some really banger opening themes for the animes that like they showed off.
Nice, yeah.
You would then usually play by Wii. I'd either play like Wii Sports or I'd play Animal Crossing City Folk, and then I'd go on the computer and listen to music and go on Google+. That was a good chunk of my solid childhood. But no, I think that basically covers it. If you have anything else you really want to mention.
And just one thing.
Okay.
I guess if you can say, it's like another pillar of my like personality was really influenced by Red versus Blue.
Guns.
It's like guns. I think, yeah, Red versus Blue really, it's like really like built on like on my humor and like just what I find funny.
That I was gonna say, I never watched it. I have a general gist of it though, so I think it also matches.
Yeah, that's like why I really like Halo and stuff.
Yeah,
Red
I
versus Blue.
really hate being nice to me.
For real. Yeah, everyone in that show is like an asshole to each other, so.
To be fair, has it really stopped?
I think Red versus Blue is like what I call like peak found family. Even though you hate each other.
Peak found family hate each other is a wonderful trope. Like, you are the most annoying dipshit in the fucking world. Oh! But I also get what you're saying. No, I understand. Keep your chin up, king.
I would kill for you. I would kill you and like die for you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if I saw someone else bullying you, I'd beat the shit out of them. And you'd be like, and then I'd beat the shit out of you for talking to me. That's just us, but like not quite there yet. Because I would just kill you.
And I would kill you too.
Oh, so kind. This is truly bonding moments in the bond.
Loser alert.
Womp womp. You just womp womp. It's a fucking favorite. Speaking of media, that's my least favorite media. Fucking. Did you just womp womp an autistic womp womp?
Womp womp.
Womp womp. I'll say it constantly. But no,
I think that wraps up everything.
I do think that wraps up everything. But yeah, no, I think media, like I mentioned this while you were gone, media really is important regardless of what media that you take in and how it reflects our day-to-day lives and how we see things, interpret things, deal with things. So I think media is definitely a very powerful tool. Mm-hmm.
Also, before I forget, we have to do our two sponsors.
Oh, our sponsors! We forgot our sponsors of the day. What are we sponsored by today, Vivo?
So today's podcast was sponsored by CDs. You know, we talked about VHSs. We talked about streaming. Mm-hmm. But we never talked about CDs. CDs.
Nuts.
CDs nuts. Yeah.
Do you think?
What's our other sponsor, Brian? What's our other sponsor?
Our sponsor of the day is we are currently being sponsored by the ethical void and terminology of the everlasting
These nuts got him.
I just put a bunch of words together and I thought that'd be funny. But no, today's sponsor is brought to you by the letters R, G, and B.
Are you ready?
And
are you there?
G for G.
Good. Yep, go.
And B for bitch. Wonderful. Right. We really are humorous.